We all went for France, didn't we? This was maybe the unanimous pick of the round of 32. Did it play out, Troy, how you expected it to, that match?
Yeah, actually just a couple less goals than we thought, actually. That was it. Everything else was perfect for France from their point of view. Got goals, got Elise and Mbappe linking up really well. No one was injured. Got more players off the bench to get some minutes in. Kept a clean sheet. It was a perfect, display from France. And again, watching that game, they scored 3 goals yet again for the 3rd time already in 4 games. But they leave you thinking, oh, there's another gear that they can go to.
Is.
Yeah, and you're just like, they're still destroying teams, and there's more to come. It just feels inevitable.
No, I mean, that was a bye, right? Like, Sweden didn't really come to play. They came to just partake in the competition. It was like that participation ribbon that you get.
My kids don't get that, but I know what you mean.
But they never stood a chance.
Yeah.
And, I think France is not only the favorite, but I don't see many teams getting in their way until they get to the final. I mean, Paraguay, they're dead man walking already for the next game. And then I think the next game after that is, if I'm not
Canada or Morocco.
Morocco. I think Morocco gives them a stiff test. Canada, I don't think they get there, but I think Morocco gives them their first stiff test of the competition.
Yeah, and what would that be? Quarters?
Quarters.
Yeah.
Quarterfinals, yeah. So, but also, you say that we saw Morocco look relatively good, but have let in loads of chances defensively versus Brazil and other games. I just don't know how anyone stops them. Just put your coaches hat on for a minute and think, how are we trying to stop this team? It's so difficult.
Well, the one thing Morocco has, though, I know we're getting ahead of ourselves here, but the one thing that they have is athleticism. They can somehow compete. I'm not saying that they're the number one to 1A, 1B. I think it's 1 and maybe 2 or 3, but at least they're not 9 or 10 like Sweden. I mean, Sweden had no chance. I don't think Paraguay have a chance, and if Canada gets it, I don't think they have a chance. So Morocco at least provides a little bit more competition.
What about Kylian Mbappe? Because it feels like every time we see, like, for example, earlier Erling Haaland, we see Leo Messi do something, then Kylian Mbappe always seems to step up, and all the talk was, wow, Leo Messi's leading the all-time World Cup goal-scoring charts. Now Kylian Mbappe is just 1 goal behind him already, and you would imagine lots more World Cup matches to go in comparison to Messi's. How impressive was that today? 18 goals in 18 appearances to be in those numbers.
Yeah, he's frightening, and I alluded to this very, very early on when I said Lionel Messi still playing is great for Kylian Mbappe and these numbers, because he gets to witness every single game. All right, he scored 2, I've got to score 2.
Right.
Everybody else on that list is retired, and obviously R9, in my opinion, the greatest striker of all time. 15 and 19 is unbelievable, but for Mbappe, 18 and 18 is scary. It's really scary stuff.
Do you think it's like that dangling carrot?
It is, yeah.
It's daily motivation. Because it's not a case of, oh, if I score today, I break a record of 40, 50 years. It's like, he scored 2 days ago. Okay, my turn. He scored the next day. Okay, my turn. And every single time, there's that measuring stick of everyone's calling Lionel Messi the greatest of all time. I can compare myself right here in present day, and they've probably got another 10 years to add to the legacy.
I think he also plays it perfectly, right? Because I think they've asked him questions in post-game pressers or whatever where, who's the best player? He'll come out and say it's Messi. Yeah. He's chasing him kind of thing, right? And so he's kind of like seeing him up there. But I think deep down, he has that little feeling where I want to be even better than Messi one day. And I don't know if he can be like the holistic player that Messi is, but in terms of a natural goal scorer, Mbappe has that, right? He can become that today's day and age of the R9, and I think he's gonna break those records.
Don't put Mbappe in R9. Just
you wouldn't. No.
I know what he means. I mean, R9 was a different type. I mean, it was just something. I don't even know if we have that kind of player anymore.
It's a feeling
today's day and age,
as well, right? There's a feeling that you get when R9 plays.
A bit like the feeling that some get when Lamine Yamal plays.
It's different. Yeah. It's different, though. It's like R9 had that athletic, like that power.
Yeah, and also it's a generation as well, right? You're talking about he's going up against players like Maldini and defenders that we talk about are going
different era
levels. Like these are the levels you need to get to, and he was making them look amateurish. So, no, for me, R9 is the greatest. So,
and you can't surpass him, I guess.
No.
It's one of those where you'll argue with your kid one day about who's the best ever.
Yeah.
And it'll always be R9 for you.
Exactly. Throw all these stats in front of me, but I don't care.
Because this is that generation, isn't it? But when you think back to Kylian Mbappe's time, especially with this edition of France, you're going to think, how lucky is he to not only be scoring the goals that he is, but to have the supporting cast around him, where in some ways he doesn't have the pressure. Because, like you said, if he's not completely on it, he's got Dembele, he's got Doué coming in. I mean, there's Barcola. There's so many players that can come in and support him.
I think a perfect example of that is you talk about some of these teams. So like Vini, right, playing at Brazil, and they can hone in on him. Any team can hone in against Vini because they know that that's the go-to guy. You can't do that with Mbappe because it's like you said, you got Dembele, you got Barcola, you have Olise, which today...
Doué off the bench.
For me, Olise was the man of the match of the game. I mean, the slip pass that he gives on the second goal to Barcola and then the slip pass that he gives to Mbappe on the third goal makes it easy to be Mbappe at that point.
How do you think they're going to decide the Ballon d'Or winner, by the way, if France win the World Cup? Is that just going to be mission impossible to pick one of this French team?
It'll be tough because, again, Dembele's got the Champions League as well. So this is
back-to-back years.
Back-to-back years. Again, he's also right up there as well with the goal scoring. So, no, it will be tough. I do think it will be tough, but...
But can you give it to Dembele? If France were to win it, can you give it to Dembele on a team like this if it continues like this, right? Where Mbappe is the focal point, I feel like.
But my choice would be Olise.
Sure.
If we're basing it just on the World Cup, because he's going to have X amount of assists, he's the one who keeps it going. But
and what he did at Bayern as well.
Yeah, and also, but now like it's voted on the stats and
the full package really, and trophies that you've won.
I just think Olise has just been, especially for France, a lot of the talk has been, can he step up in the big games? And at the moment, every game he's just like he's there, and everybody else is trying to get to him. And the best part is everyone trusts him. They get the ball.
Olise today was
give him the ball.
Yeah, and he looked like, I mean, even the announcer said it in the game. He looked like he was playing in the park with his buddies. It was too easy.
Even you're not a massive fan, obviously we know, Troy, of the graphics, but what about this one? Because we have got the passing chart, which at halftime we looked at how many France had in comparison to Sweden. It was incredible, wasn't it? This does paint the picture.
We're keeping someone in a job.
I love that last one,
incredible
Poppy.
it is.
The backward passes. 13% only.
Yeah.
That to me shows you that you're not just playing possession soccer for possession's sake. There's a purpose. You're trying to get to the goal, and they get 3 goals from it and many other chances outside of the goals.
But this is what, again, sideways passing is just moving it to try and get the team to shift the opposition. But when you can play those forward passes, 29% of your passes are forward. That's great because you're now saying, right, we can go side to side. We're dictating the play, but also we're waiting for you to make that mistake, whether it be a through pass through the lines or whether it go around the outside, but it's got to go forward. And once it goes forward early, it just destroys teams. You're giving that front four so much time, so much space, and then you're giving them normally a quick pass. And as you know, when you give them a quick pass, that normally leads to turning forward and going. It's the slow, bobbly passes that make you come back, isn't it?
Is it the side passes as well, where they're just trying to break the press and just get the momentum change?
Yeah, it's like what Troy's saying. The side passes and even the backwards passes to some degree. The field is very big, but there's 11 players trying to shield 1 goal, and so you're trying to manipulate the ball from one side to the other so that then the vertical pass can come in from the opposite side. And so they do that really well, and it's quick, and it moves quickly. And they did it really well in this game where Sweden just weren't able to transition, horizontally, left and right. And then when they weren't able to do that, it was very vertical and very direct. And then you have guys that can find those passes and guys that can make those runs. And when you get those horses going, I mean, it's over. The race is over before it started. So it was awesome to watch today.
I think everybody can agree, right, that France is the clear favourite in the World Cup. Do you remember a World Cup at this point of the competition where there was such an outstanding clear favourite, or is this unusual?
No, I think we've all tried to keep Argentina there, like all the Messi story, first team in modern times to go back to back. We're kind of hoping for that. I was just thinking to myself there, if you're every other team watching this, you must be thinking, how do we stop them? Like how do we get to
Let's
that
hope
level?
someone else stops them before we play them, I think.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But when we all sit in hotels, we watch the games that are on because we're preparing for a game. And so certain times you watch it, you're like, we can't do that. No. I remember watching.
You can see it in Sweden's faces today.
Yeah, I remember watching Pep's Man City team. Obviously, we got to play against them when I was in the Premier League, and you see in certain times, and they're doing different passes. You're like, well, we can't stop that. We can't stop Kevin De Bruyne being here, putting it around the back of 4 players, and Aguero scored it. Okay, let's hope. Yeah. And I just think the certain teams are watching that, going, okay. That's the level we need to get to. I'm not sure we can quite get there.
Yeah. And look, Poppy, I do think that Argentina is still 1A France, 1B Argentina, and then I think that there's a big divide between the next set of teams. And I don't think that there's been, I'm trying to think in the World Cup, at this point in the World Cup, I don't think I've ever seen just such 2 outliers, right? 1 and 2 outliers where I have a hard time seeing anybody else win this World Cup. But I think we also have to understand this is still football. And
of course.
Crazy stuff happens all the time that we look back and we're like, how did that happen?
Yeah.
I never saw that coming. So we never know.
Sending off.
An injury.
There's always something.
But you do get the sense that it's going to be their own downfall rather than somebody else outplaying them on the day, right?
How do you outplay them? I'm literally asking myself a question, as you said, like, how do you outplay them? There's nothing you can do.
Do you know what is surprising when you think back, talking about the favourites, that Spain were actually the favourites for the World Cup? Now it seems like Spain's not really in the same conversation as France and as Argentina.
I feel like I can draw up a scenario where if Spain and France meet, I think it would be in the semis, if I'm not mistaken. Spain are so good with possession that they can just keep the ball and keep it away from those guys, that it makes the game, instead of a 90-minute game, maybe a 30-minute game, where now you limit the rhythm that France finds and whatnot, and you know, Spain has their own issues in terms of scoring. Yeah. But if they can at least keep the ball away from France, then maybe they have a chance.
Give the ball away once with that open style that they play with keeping the ball.
They can't do it. They can't make that mistake.
This is the impossible question, because we've obviously been just saying so many positives. If there is one negative to France, if you're Deschamps and you're thinking this is a problem area for us, what is it? Is there one?
I can only think of one name that's the problem, and that's Messi. If Messi plays him in the final and he has the final he had 4 years ago, and all of the other 10 players, which I think Argentina will create that issue for France where they're just physically imposing. They kick them, they knock them down. We've seen referees let the game play a little bit more in this one.
We almost saw it in the World Cup final last time, didn't we?
We did.
Mbappe scored a hat-trick, still wasn't enough.
Exactly. So I think that's the one person / team that I could see them, you know, faltering with in like a real, you know, battle royale, other than them creating their own problems. But
I was going to say that I think it's them creating their own problems. But I think with the manager's mother passing away, him leaving for a little time, there's another common goal there now. Like, okay, let's do it for him.
It was nice to see them celebrate together, right?
And they know he's leaving as well at the end of the year. So it's like, I don't know, it just feels like one last hurrah for everybody. And in the 3 cycles that he's been to the final every time, Deschamps. But after each one, they've been calling for him to get sacked. So to me, it's crazy. It
is as well, especially because you would think that normally the weakness with a team like this is maybe the cohesion, because they do have so many amazing players. And how do you manage them? We see it all the time with Ancelotti being this amazing man manager. But with France, it feels like that's never even the narrative, because the system works so well for them.
But the manager's made it very clear who the number 1 is.
Yeah. Did you see him walking off the field?
I was about to say that, As Mbappe's coming off, he's bowing to him, which, you know, normally you'd go, I don't really like that, but it's great man management, because in the first game, the first half against Senegal, he wasn't great, Mbappe. And then the manager's like, don't worry, your team, you do what you got to do. He then scores 2, but everyone's like, wow, he's here. But if you've got a manager that's trying to please everybody and go, okay, your turn this time, or your turn this time, you've got a superstar. Carlo Ancelotti does it with Brazil, Vinicius Jr. Yes, we've got Rafinha, but you're going to play in your preferred position. We're going to give you the ball as much as possible. You need to understand and identify who's your team. Everybody else then goes, okay, what's my job? I'm not trying to be the main man. I'm not trying to score 10 goals. That's the guy who scores. He's going to win us the World Cup. How do we give him the best platform? Which
weirdly sounds like the other best team in the World Cup with Argentina, because they have that same hierarchy, don't they, where everybody is on the same page. Do you like that as a player, by the way, Troy, that there is the common goal, even though sometimes maybe because all these players play at such a high level in Europe, the feelings are a big thing, the egos are a big thing, but does it make it more clear going into a World Cup?
I think it does, but also these big teams, like Elise, when he was at Bayern Munich, he's the main focal point. They're going to give him a lot of the ball, but it's not about how many goals he scores, it's what does he provide for Harry Kane. So that then fits into this narrative with Mbappe. Right. Dembele, yes, you're at PSG, but PSG is about everyone working and everyone scoring. So that then fits into this. Do you get what I mean? Like all of these big superstars in their roles at their normal club actually helps the national team. So
it's a similar role, regardless of where they're playing. It fits in with. I agree, because look, you saw Mbappe at Real Madrid, and there's issues, right? Because 100%. Him and Vinny are both, they have their egos, and whoever else.
We're not defending, you defend for us.
And it doesn't fit in as well. But in their respective national teams, I think with Mbappe in France, I think it works really well because, like you said, Olise is an unselfish player. Dembele seems to be a very unselfish player. And they all kind of get theirs, right? And then going back to your question, Poppy, about the hierarchy, and of course Mbappe's the best player in the world, arguably right now. Messi is the best player of all time. So I think it's easy. The one team that I've ever played with was LAFC, where Carlos Vela was the guy on our team, and it was very easy to just let him lead, and I'll do my job for you, right? And I think everybody felt that was their role within the team. And I think it's somewhat similar to that, where they're willing to follow his lead. They know what he can provide. He is not, yes, he's the superstar, maybe he's the big guy on campus, but he does what he's supposed to do. All of those, both those guys. Messi and Mbappe both do what they're supposed to do. So it's easy to follow them, and I think they all have that camaraderie together.